Welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us on Midwest Access. We've stepped outside to hang out with Neil Imsdahl. He is the store manager for Sargent's on 2nd. How are you?
Very good. A little chilly here today.
I put on my winter coat. So Neil is an expert when it comes to winterizing your gardens. What do we need to know when we have this cold weather that is finally here? So what tips do you have for folks?
Yes, it snuck up on us this year. It was so nice last week. But if you're like me, you may have delayed the winterization of the garden this year because it has been so nice.
Sure.
Really, as we think about what's next in the garden, we need to start thinking about maybe putting perennials, cutting them back, getting things ready for winter. At this point, it's a little bit too late to be doing things like fertilization.
Sure.
But we can do light cutbacks to annuals and perennials. And trees and shrubs, we really want to avoid pruning at this time of the year.
Okay.
But I did bring a couple things I can show you.
What do you have to show here?
Yeah. So
I'll come over here with you. You can show me.
It's important to protect trees from things like deer, rabbit, voles. This is a rigid tree guard. You'd wrap this around a younger tree, anything that will fit inside. That's a 4-inch diameter opening. It's great to provide a little additional protection because the deer, especially the bucks, they can scrape up new trees. If you have evergreen hedging like yews or boxwoods, arborvitaes, it's often a good idea to wrap them. Just a thin plastic netting like this can provide a lot of protection and prevent, probably the deer and rabbit from eating into the foliage. And then another, at this time of the year, just before we get these really cold temps, we want to provide or apply something like Wilt Stop. Wilt Stop is best applied, again, to evergreens and boxwoods, things that will continue to dehydrate over the winter. This adds another layer of protection. It helps lock in any moisture in the leaves or needles.
Okay. And we have some deer and rabbit repellent here.
We do, yes, deer and rabbit. They are a problem around these parts. This is a liquid spray that may seem a little odd, going into the freezing temps here, but you can still apply things like deer repellents like this. You have to apply them about every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And that, again, will help keep the critters away from those prized plants that you may have.
Okay, and we have tomatoes. I have tomatoes at my house. We have some tomatoes right over here that are still not picked. They're green. What in the world do we do when we know it's going to freeze at night?
Yes, this is probably the last opportunity we have to harvest anything that's left in the garden.
Okay, do you want to help me harvest these then during commercial break?
Let's go. Yeah, so anything real tender, most of your peppers and tomatoes are probably toast unless they're in a really protected spot like this.
Okay.
If you do still have green tomatoes, you can harvest those and put them in a big paper grocery bag and set them on the counter. It takes 2 to 3 weeks, but they will ripen in a paper bag. So we can certainly harvest these. It's your last opportunity to harvest things like herbs, squash, things like that.
Sure. So I've been waiting to pull my tomatoes out. It's probably okay to do so.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take my tomatoes off, anything I have left, but then pull the plants out.
Yep, exactly. Harvest what's left, and then the rest can go on the compost pile.
Okay, and lastly, our beautiful fall mums. Obviously, we have some beautiful ones here. Yes. What do we do, bring them in at night?
Mums, with the temperatures forecast in the mid-20s, if your mums are in containers like these, you can certainly lift them and bring them in. If they're in the ground, if you want, you can cover them, but
it's almost to that point where they're going to go.
Right, we're at the point, yeah.
All right. Anything more? Any other final tips as we head to commercial break?
Just we're at 2nd Street, we're getting ready for the next season. Christmas greens are going to start rolling in next week, so yeah.
You're always ahead of the game over there. One season ahead, right? All right, Neil, thank you so much.
Yep,
we appreciate everything you had to share with us today. All right, we have much more to come here on Midwest Access. We have some folks